Okay. Hello everyone.
Okay, sir.
Hello everyone. This is
Hello,
Syed
sir.
Tosif, and today we are going to
Hi, sir.
discuss about
Hi, sir.
yeah hi, and today we are going to discuss about Java server pages. Okay, JSP. Now it's a very important concept for your now academy as well as for your project also. Okay, so it's very important, so we will check out the basic introduction part of JSP now, and what are the features in this one it contains. Okay, introduction, what are the implicit objects are there, scripting elements, what are the different scripting elements are there, expression language in JSP, JSP directives and action element. These are the some subtopics are there we are going to check out today. Okay, first of all I would like to go to some previous session what we have discussed. Okay, in last session might you have know about, I have shared one video also, a session management, right? Here we have a home page. Okay, in this one a register servlet we are calling. The servlet reside in the class file, right? You can check out here the register servlet is there. Okay, you right, in this one we are just redirecting to a JSP page. So you can check out here, we are not giving any other type of response, we are just redirecting the to a JSP. What is the use of a redirecting into a JSP page? Okay, now before that one we have done another register page. Okay, in this one you can check out, we are giving complete tags. Okay, HTML, head, title, registration and some dynamic value we are appending. Okay, and completely in the string format. Okay, what is the difference between this and this, and why should we go for this type of JSP object? Okay, now the question arises, what is the use of JSP? We have already a servlet. In this one we can already returning a HTML file, right? What is the use of JSP right now arises? Yeah, when you comes to this point, the thing is, now you can check out in this one, this is a business logic whatever we have written, and there is no HTML. Presentation is completely separate part. In this one you can check out, okay, whatever our business logic, database accessing further, if it is a complex one, means we are doing in the same page, and in the same page we are making a presentation also. So in this one what it will lose us, it will lose us the understanding level, and it will make our response more complicated. Okay, we were discussing about why we are going to use a JSP, right? Instead of making the business logic at one place, as well as adding some response also in one place, it will make our programming very complex. Okay, so if we want to change something, means it might be trouble for many places. Because of that reason we want a business logic, okay, whatever the servlet handling, right, that is at one place, and whatever the presentations are there, that has to be at one place. Okay, if you want to make such a presentation separate, we are going to use the JSP concept. Okay, in this one you can check out registration page, and the business logic I have written, I am directly redirecting, means using the response object I am sending a redirect to the session. So the session in this one, this session start will be a page which is going to be as a response to the user. Okay, in session start what I am doing, you can check out, it is as it is the HTML page. Okay, in this one I am adding some dynamic values. Okay, these are the dynamic values, so we'll get to know how it is becoming a dynamic values. Okay, you can check out some extra presentation also. So in this one we got one clear idea about, we want a clear separations to the business logic as well as the presentation. Okay, in this one JSP have a capability for dynamic coding. What do you mean by dynamic coding? Is nothing but the Java code we can directly insert into the any HTML page. Okay, this is one example of this JSP. Okay, now we will check features about a JSP, or different features of JSP. Now we will check out. Okay, Okay, just think, you are calling this is a browser, a user is calling to any JSP, so it will check out the JSP exists or not. If it is existing, then it will send the JSP to the JSP container. Okay, after JSP container, it will transfer and it will make JSP translator. Okay, it will go to JSP translator, and JSP translator again convert the JSP to the servlet. Okay, after writing this servlet, a class is generated. You can check out a .java file is generated, and after that one, the Java file is sent to a compiler. Then again a class file is generated for servlet, and it is gone to GRE, and a servlet object is created, and finally it will respond to the user in a HTML format or the requested format. Okay, what in this one we got is that one, whatever the JSP pages are there, it is a child or it is extension of servlet. Why we are using the extension? Because we want a clear separation to the HTML as well as the business logic. Okay, and another what advantage you will get, you can easily write down the whatever you want extra. You can see this one, you are getting intelligence also. Okay, in the HTML form, if you want some intelligence like BR, autocomplete is there, like input, okay, some autocomplete, accept or type, you can check out, autocomplete is coming. So it is making your development easy. Okay, this is why we are going to use a JSP. So in this one, what happens, there are two types of calling a JSP. You can directly call a JSP. Okay, like in this one a method is there, right? In this one, what I am doing, action, we are going to use the servlet. Example, refresh. Here the refresh servlet we have created, we are calling. Even though you can also in action, you can also call a direct session also, direct JSP also. Okay, both are possibilities are there. Better mostly we are going to use the servlet, and servlet will going to call the means JSP page. Okay, these are some introduction part, what is the use of JSP, how to call the JSP, and the life cycle we have seen. Whenever user request for JSP, it will be go to the JSP container. After JSP translator, JSP translate the JSP file into servlet. Okay, servlet is again going to be generate the .java file, and .java file is going to compile, and .class file is going to be generated, and JRE and going to be response to the servlet. Okay, JSP technology used to create a web application just like servlet technology. It can be thought of as an extension of a servlet because it provides more functionality than the servlet, such as expression and language, JSTF, etc. Okay, it is an extension of JSP. Servlet means it has lot of more functionality than the servlet. JSP page consists of HTML tag as well as JSP tags. Okay, we know about HTML tags, right? Just a minute. Yeah, these are the H1, H2 and form, break. These are the HTML tags we know already. Now we have to check out what are the JSP tags are there. Okay, JSP pages are easier to maintain than the servlet because we can separate designing and development. So there will be complete separation of the business logic as well as the presentation logic. Presentation logic is nothing but which is a view for the user. The business logic is nothing but the backend process happening for the databases, everything. Okay, now we can check out some introduction part, extension to the servlet. Okay, what are the advantages of using a JSP? Okay, JSP technology is an extension of servlet. Okay, what happens in this one, JSP has the built-in functionality of servlet, as well as it will give you more functionality using the JSP tags. Okay, easy to maintain. Yes, easy to maintain because the business logic and the presentation is completely differ. Okay, if you change any presentation logic also, you doesn't have to deploy, you doesn't have to compile, because it will take care automatically by the JSP container request response. Okay, then fast development is there. Yeah, if you compare to that earlier, completely both presentation and presentation as well as the business logic at a server, in the JSP we can do the more fast development, as it will make a more intelligence for the development. Less code than servlet. Yes, it will be very less code than the servlet. In JSP we can use many tags such as action tag, JSTL, custom tag, etc. to reduce the code. Moreover, we can use EL, implicit object, etc. Okay, now these are the features. What are the action tags, JSTL, custom tags, and EL, implicit object, and these are the completely going to be features of the JSP. Now you can check out where we need to keep our JSP files, as it is in the web component. If we create a new dynamic web application, okay, demo, just I am giving name demo. Demo 4, just name I will give, and I will make a finish. Okay, whenever we create any demo project, it is here. If you expand this one, you will have two major folders here: Java resources and web content. In the web content, you are going to create the JSP files. Okay, demo finish. Okay, you can check out in the web, you are going to create the JSP files. In this one, it is just giving you the one simple example. Web content, it's nothing but a web app, and in this one you are going to store the JSP and static resources is nothing but HTML and CSS. Okay, now first of all we are going to check out what are the implicit object. Okay, to check out what are the implicit object, we will go first to check one servlet. Okay, this is one servlet. In this one we are implementing a do post request, and you can check out we are getting some request object and some response object, right? These are the built-in function initialize, okay, implicit objects in the servlet. Using this one request object, we will get the information about the request, and using response object we can write a response to the user, right? Example, if you want to write something, we need to response dot get writer, return the print writer. Okay, that we have given as a PW, but we can rename that one as out, because it's a variable. We can rename as our wish, right? Right, you will get to know why I have written the out name. Okay, and we can create a cookies, we can add response cookies to a response, and this kind of functionality we are doing in this one, right? Now if you want to work with this request and response object in JSP, how we can do it? Because of that reason, what they have done in the JSP, they have already given some implicit object. Okay, example, request, response, config, application, session, page context, page exception, and out. Okay, out is nothing but our writer class, which we have written here, right? Writer. So in servlet we have to write this one code to make any output file, but in the JSP it is a automated, means implicit object is a out. Okay, first we will check one simple out object, so we will come to further classes. Okay, we will close all unnecessary objects. Okay, projects only we will keep which is required. Okay, implicit object we will go. No, we'll check now implicit. Okay, right now we'll eliminate this one. Okay, you can check out this is implicit. Okay, welcome out dot print I am making. Okay, out dot print I am utilizing. So we will going to run this one. We will check this is implicit, right? So I have already run the application, because last time we have faced some running the server, we faced some difficulty. You can check out welcome to BNU. This is a okay, this welcome to BNU is from the output string. You can make any dynamic value like Bengaluru North University. Just we are going to refresh this one. You can check out whatever the functionality we were able to do in the servlet, the same functionality we can do with the output object. Okay, it's an implicit object. The same way you will have a lots of implicit object. Okay, just like I'm going to use now request object. Okay, request. In request object, what we are doing, get parameter, right? We are working with get parameter with passing some value. Value is nothing but name. Okay, we will check now what we can display. Name is equal to means welcome hi. Okay, so this is one simple thing we have made. So we'll go quickly and we will check out what will happens now. So before that one, as the name defines, get parameter defines I don't want any confusion, so implicit I will copy paste. Okay, here one parameter we need to pass, right? Okay, we will pass one extra parameter. What is the parameter? Name. Name is equal to student. BNU student we will give. Okay, BNU student. You can check out a extra parameter what we are using. Hi BNU, it is coming. Okay, now what we will do, we will add one extra form. Okay, in this one we will make action. Action is equal to a new page, like new JSP. Okay, dot JSP. Just I'm trying to call one new JSP. Okay, in this one I will create input type is equal to text. Okay, name is equal to name. Okay, name BR. Okay, email ID. Input type is equal to text. Type is equal to name is equal to mail. Okay, this is the thing. And finally BR for new line, and input type is equal to submit. Okay, and value is equal to click. Okay, this is the way we are going to email ID. Okay, we'll make a proper naming, and in this one it is going for new JSP. Now we will check how it will work. We will check now how it will present in this one. You can check out after that one. Name is came, some BNU student. Email ID we will give like student at bnu.com. If we click this one, you can check out, there is no JSP found. So what we need to do, we need to create one JSP now. What is the name of the JSP? New JSP.js. So what we'll do, new JSP will create. Okay, in this one we will use the implicit objects. Okay, is equal to request dot get parameter. You can check out, we are getting that one. Now name I need to get, and another one what I need to get it, I want another is, just a minute, we'll check what is there implicit. What is the name of this one? Yeah, mail. Okay, mail. Okay, now we have created. Okay, this one simple message I want to display. Okay, now we will go once again to our BNU, we'll refresh and we'll add some BNU student, we add some student.bnu, we'll click now. You can check out, now it is coming. Dear BNU student, welcome to BNU. You have successfully registered with mail ID. Mail ID is not coming properly. Why it is not coming properly? Because might be we have mismatched some mail is there, right? We'll check implicit. Now what is this? You can check out, small m is there, but what we have done here, capital mail we have, capital M we have used. Okay, because of that reason it was not coming, but I believe it will come right now. Okay, being a student. Okay, dear Ahmed, welcome to BNU. You have successfully registered with the mail ID. Got it? Now we have seen the two ways of calling a JSP. One is from here we can check out, we can call a JSP in the servlet using the response dot send redirect method, and another is, okay, implicit will go, we can call the JSP in a form also like this. Okay, so this is a simple way we have used the two things, and we have seen some of the objects like out, request, response. Okay, now we have already seen the session and exception. The same way you the user can use the response, page context and exception. Okay, exception we will come, what is the use of exception in everything. Okay, so we, as we have seen implicit object in the servlet, some of the objects are also created implicitly in the JSP. Example, we have already seen this get response and how we can use this thing. I hope you guys have understood this implicit object. So we'll move for the next. Anybody have a doubt in the implicit object and how to call the JSP? What are the uses of JSP and everything? So if you don't have any doubt, so we'll move further. Yes, anyone have doubt? Shall we continue? Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, we'll continue. Okay, now what are the different types of JSPs are there? One is the classical type, another is a XML type. So classical type, on whatever we have till now we have discussed, we have created the files, right? This everything are the classical type. So another is the type is XML. Okay, in XML file also we can create a, okay, JSP like tags. Okay, this is a simple HTML. Okay, in this one you can call a JSTL and you can create your like this is a XML, right? Formatting XML with JSP. Like this you can check out XML. XSL is nothing but XML extended language, and in this one we are going to use our JSP also. Okay, but we are not going to discuss the XML, we are going to discuss the classical syntax only. Now we will check what are the elements in the JSP, like action element, directive tags, scriptlet tags. These are the elements of a JSP. Now every programming will have a API. API will contain lots of classes and interface. So what are the APIs are there in the for JSP? Yeah, there are two types of API. You can check out Java X servlet.jsp, means under the servlet one API is the JSP, and the same way java.servlet.jsp tag xt. Okay, in this one we are going to work, mostly work is java x.servlet.jsp in this one. Okay, java the java x.servlet.jsp has two different interfaces and classes. There are two interfaces. Okay, JSP and http JSP. Okay, whenever we create any JSP file, right, it is going to be use the interface called http JSP page. Okay, you can check out http JSP page, again extending the JSP page. Okay, again this is extending the servlet, means this is a child class. Okay, some multi-level child class of servlet. Whatever JSP we are writing, it's a multi-level child class of a servlet. Okay, whenever we have seen also, after we are calling any JSP, it is ultimately going to convert to a servlet, and servlet is going to be executed, right? Now we will come to the scriptlet tags. Okay, Java in JSP, Java code can be written in the JSP page using the scriptlet tags. The scripting elements provide the ability to insert Java code inside the JSP. So what is the use of this scriptlet tag? If you want to insert a Java code in a HTML, then we are going to use this scriptlet tags. Okay, there are three types of scriptlet tags. Okay, one is scriptlet, another is expression, and third one is a declaration. So one by one we will check what are the uses of this. Okay, and finally another one extra tag is the expression language, simplifies the accessibility of data stored in the Java Bean component and other objects like request, response, and applications. Okay, so it the syntax is very similar, is easy only, but we'll go for first scriptlet tags, expression tags. After this expression tags we will come to expression language. Okay, we'll check one by one example now. Okay, you can check out in this one we have already written a uh, scriptlet tag. Okay, in this one you can write any number of coding. Okay, like example, for int I is equal to 0 or 1, I less than 10 or less than or equal to 10, I plus 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 plus. Okay, what we'll do, we'll out dot print ln will make. Okay, in this one first we will display I. Okay, first I is equal to plus I, and finally s semicolon. Now we will check the tag how it will respond to us. Yeah, this we don't want. Now we will use this one. You can check out I is equal to 1, I is equal to 2, but there is somewhat breaking is not there. Why breaking is not there? Even though we are using ln, because it is a HTML don't know the slash n. Okay, to HTML what we need to write, we need to write br, break tag. Okay, you can check out, we got it, right? So the same way we can utilize the things. Example, what we will do now, we will write one extra for table I into.
Sir, screen is not displaying, sir.
Sir, screen not coming, sir.
Okay, okay,
Yes, sir.
let me check out. Yeah, let me check out why screen is not coming. So we have stopped to the, yeah, scriptlet tag we are discussing, right? We were discussing scriptlet tag. We will go for our script. Okay, into, okay, I hope you have understand this concept. Okay, what is the use of the even for loop, if condition. Okay, even though if you can write if condition also. Okay, example, you can create int age is equal to 22. Okay, if age is equal to greater than 8 or equal to 18, you can I'm using a static values, but the age and everything will be dynamic also if you go for a large application. Just I'm giving an example of using the condition application, how you can use the Java and everything. Okay, then what you will out dot print, what you want to print, you are eligible to
Well,
out, right? else else out dot print, you are not eligible to out, right? This also will just quickly run this one, and we will check out whether it is affecting or not. You can check out, you are eligible to out. Sorry, out spelling is not proper. Okay, this way you can embed your Java code in this one using the scriptlet tag. Okay, whatever code, if you want to display date. Okay, okay, just I will add break here, and I will add break here. Okay, and if you want to display some date, you can check out in this page. I am importing extra library. Okay, extra API called utility, and under that utility I'm using the date. Okay, if you want to use further, okay, applet or something else also you can create, but you have to import that one. Okay, like this we are using in Java also, right? In that also you can see this one. If you want to use something, okay, import is going to be happen, right? Yeah, in this one also you have to include something if you want to use. Okay, AWT package, if you want you can use, graphics you can use. Okay, right now I'm using a date. Okay, what I will do, I just write out dot print, otherwise better I will use the expression tag. Now what is the use of expression? The expression tag will give you some assignment. Okay, some evaluation of something, and it will give you date. Okay, you can check out break, and what I will do for this date, I will add in h1 tag, I will add in h1 tag, I will say today's date. Okay, I will close my h1 tag. So you can check out, it is automatically completing the code. Okay, you can check out, date is coming, it's a dynamic, right? If you write one thread, if you want to write a thread, you can create one thread also, and in that thread you can call any functionality. Okay, for displaying continuous day time, you can create thread also. If you want to create thread, you have to import the thread library, right? Like that it is going to be used. Okay, that both the things we have gone through. This is a scriptlet tag. You can include any number of statement in this one. You can give complete java code in this one. And this is a expression tag. Okay, this is you are going to use in this one. And what is the use of, if we have already this one, then what is the use of this assignment symbol? Yeah, sometimes you have to assign some dynamic values. Okay, how you are going to assign some dynamic values, we will check now. Okay, post. Okay, post, I want to make it as somewhat dynamic. Okay, in this one I can use this scriptlet tag. Okay, but I cannot use this tag because it won't return the value, but I want to return something. Okay, example is equal to, I will show you. Okay, what I will do, post, do, yeah, post only, right? We are going to use. Okay, I will make this one is, I'm going to refresh this page, and I will go for check the content of this one. Okay, you can check out here, the page is displaying. If I want to view the page, okay, control u, if I place, it will give me the code of this one. You can check out, the post is coming as a post. The same way, if we use, okay, this scriptlet tag, we'll check whether it will work or not. Okay, you can check out, still it is, now itself it is throwing the error. If I create some string, okay, what we will do, string like str is equal to some post, and giving some the kamdari meeting. Okay, we were checking about this concepts, right? Scriptlet tag, expression tag. You can check out what we have done. The changes, we have added this kind of functionality. Okay, even though now you can check out, we will refresh our page. Okay, now control u to view the code. Okay, you can check out, there is no dynamic at value for this attribute post, right? So because of that reason, to give some extra dynamic values to the attributes of any tag, right? You can, especially for giving the attributes to the tag, okay, you have to use this one. Example, the best example I will give you, let me give somewhat give. Okay, uh, give, I have added welcome students. Okay, just I will add somewhat uh, style is equal to color. Color is equal to, I want to use now the scriptlet tag as red. This is done, and this is also done, and this is our working fine. Color is red, and I will make this as h1, so it will be more clear to you guys. You can check out, dynamic color is coming. Okay, Example, I will just a minute. What I will do, I will create string color is equal to red. Okay, now you will better understand what is the dynamic value color. Okay, I will make a point here. Red. If you give blue, you can check out it is coming blue. So here also I'm giving a static values, but think about you want to give some dynamic still more values you can give, okay, without any error. So to initialize some attribute or some HTML information, right, you can use the expression tag. Okay, this also you can use the expression tag instead of this complete expression. How you can use, we will check now. Okay, what is the expression tag? Dollar. Okay,
So can we use the BG color, sir?
bg color, background color you can use, yeah, that will give you the background color of the div. Okay, example I will give
So once you add and show, sir, first.
background color, background spell is, okay, let it to be bg only. Okay, I believe it will also work fine. Okay, what color we can give now? Let it to be static. Black I will give. Okay, because not black. Blue I will give blue, and here I will make a red. Okay, background color is equal to red, and color, it is not taking this color as a tag. Okay, okay, you can check out, this is a direct value. Okay, this is a dynamic value, and I'm assigning, you can check out, this value is not going to be displayed for the HTML page. Okay, this type of anything if you want to add, okay, the color is not, this script is for the processing the HTML. Okay, if you want to assign something dynamic values for that processing, you have to use this expression tag. Okay, now the declaration tag, what is the use of declaration tag? Now in servlet, we can create some global variables. Okay, as it is a class, right? In outside of this one we can create some instance variable and some extra method also we can create. Okay, to declare that kind of functionality in our JSP, okay, we can use, okay, we can use the JSP. Like I'm using this one as a int, I have declared. So whenever I will declare this kind of information, right, okay, whatever functionality here I've written, okay, I will just give you the implicit functionality. Okay, whatever functionality I have written in this one, right, the dynamic values, whatever, these all are going to be put in a service method. We know service is a one method of servlet, right? The service is method is going to be invoked when we calling the JSP. So whatever functionality it is there inside here, right, it is going to be put as a code for a service method. Okay, but whatever we use in the declaration, right, it will be outside the service method inside the class. Okay, I'm creating one variable and I'm created one function. Okay, you can check out, I can use this variable in my code, and further I can use the function also in this one. Okay, this is the way you can declare your own functionality, and as well as you can declare your own method also. Okay, this is the way you can do with the this tag. Please remember the syntax is very simple. The scripting tag will always start from the like this only. Okay, the scripting tag always start from the lesser than symbol and percentage. If it is a expression type, you are going to use this equal sign. If it is a declaration, you are going to use exclamatory symbol. Okay, everything is simple only. You can easily remember if you remember one thing. Okay, now we will come to the directives. Okay, what is the use of directive? Directive are the messages that tell the web container how to translate a JSP page into corresponding servlet. Okay, what are the resources that your JSP file required, or how you are going to call your JSP. Guys, uh, hello everyone. uh,
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yeah,
sir.
might be we have gone more enough today functionality.
Yes, sir.
If you guys give
Yes, sir.
permission, I will continue, otherwise we can continue tomorrow. It's a very small topic only.
Tomorrow continue, sir.
We can continue tomorrow, but only one thing is, today's video I will share, and you guys have to check, guys have to go through the video, and the same programs also I will share. Create your own program, do something modifications. Okay, that time if you do yesterday, tomorrow you can understand more better than this one. And another one thing, I have given one assignment this Saturday, right? Only with 3 questions. Tomorrow is the last date because it's only 3 questions. Tomorrow, you guys, everyone has to submit the assignment, and tomorrow I will assign the marks also. And one more information is that one, please write while you are writing the assignment, please take all the subtopics of each question. Example, if you are writing a question on applet, write the each and every subtopic like Windows status, session, or the graphics library. Okay, whatever the subtags subtopics comes in the uh, uh, topic, you have to write complete note. Okay, and whatever the lab programs related to applets, there are two lab programs are there. Write the both the two programs, and for sublet there is one program. Write that one also. If possible, write the JSP program also. It will be better for you.